So guys, today is going to be the rest of my Hot Topic Black Friday haul. I mean, I'm gonna say Black Friday haul, but I'm gonna be completely honest. This wasn't much of a Black Friday this year. It was something that was kind of disguised as a Black Friday that was kind of promoting people to come out, but not really. They had the same stuff that they have every year, and I just don't feel that they had that much of a discount on it, even when it came to the pops, right? So they had like buy two get one free. I feel that like that's a deal that they've done forever. But I walked in Hot Topic just out of curiosity to see what they had, and they had these two guys. Now I was super excited to pick up the penguin because I was wanting the penguin as a snowman already. Last year I picked up the Captain Snowman, and maybe I'll show him at some part in here. Somewhere over in here I'll show Captain Snowman real quick. So I picked up Cap Snowman last year. This year I managed to pick up the Penguin Snowman, which both of these were a Hot Topic exclusive. And then I picked up Ash. Now, I'm going to share something with you guys, and that is that Ash versus Evil Dead. Now, not necessarily the movie, but the series I fell in love with, and I sit down and binge watched every one of those. It was like in a week or a 2 week period. I can't really remember how long it was, but it wasn't very long. I sit down and binge watched those in no time flat, and just fell in love with the character Ash at some point throughout that. But before we get into these guys, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, and become part of the Wayneko crew. My name is Wayne, and this is Wayneko. And, just make sure you do that real quick before we get real far into these guys. I'm going to get the penguin open first, and I'm going to save Ash for last because, like I just said a second ago, you know how I feel about Ash. Ash vs. Evil Dead was a great series. Now, this is not from Ash vs. Evil Dead. This is from the Army of Darkness. Now, I think that that's a spin-off of Ash vs. Evil Dead, but you'll have to throw a comment down below and tell me exactly what that's from. Now, on the back of this one, I know that they're showing 6 of these guys on the back. He's number 367 out of the group. I know that there's more than 6 of these guys. I mean, because I'm holding one of them right in my hand right now that they don't have on the back of this box. And I think that the back of these boxes are just used as a general guideline as to how many they have. They never have exactly like all of them that they have on here. His box is really cool, but it looks just like the rest of them, except it has this really cool snowman sitting right up front, which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. If you haven't had a chance to go over and check out my Facebook, make sure that you go over and follow me on Facebook. Now that's a pretty cool group right there, and I'm doing it completely different than the rest of them. In this group, I'm going to encourage you to make posts on there. Now, I'm going to tell you in advance if your posts are hateful, if they're discriminatory, or if they're just nasty in nature, I'm going to take them down. Hey, look, that not only am I going to take them down, but I might even block you at that point, right? Because I don't breed hatred and stuff like that. I breed love and prosperity to people. So I mean, look, we should all kind of be on that same page and positivity, right? I mean, sometimes it's really hard. Wow, he is not a bobblehead. So I had to stop that real quick. I kind of expected this guy to be a bobblehead, and he is extremely solid. That is pretty cool. Now, the Cat Snowman is a bobblehead, and he's not nearly as heavy as this guy is. Let's take a closer look at him together. Man, so this guy has a little bit of weight to him. I mean, he has a little bit more weight than I honestly expected. They did some really cool stuff with him. As you can see, they made it actually look like a snowball, or is as realistic as you could make a snowball look that's not a snowball, right? They did the umbrella. The paint job on him looks really well. I don't see any paint spillover, but we just here recently learned that some of this stuff is just kind of stuck on there that I didn't know before. And if you'll go over to my Instagram, you'll see where I posted that they've now at the Instagram at the Funko Hollywood and at the Funko HQ, you can now kind of build your own guys, and they kind of like give you a little bit more of an idea as to how these guys are put together. So we know that everything on this is separate, right? So the eyebrows are separate, the nose is separate, the body, the head, the everything, the hat on him, everything is separate, and then they kind of bring it all together at the very end, which means that they're doing a lot better when it comes to the paint spillover and things to that effect. Also means that there's a lot of room for error when it comes to glue, when it comes to not getting it on right, when it comes to just missing an arm completely. So it gives Funko a lot of room for error, but maybe they're going to like start upping their quality control and we're not going to see those errors nearly as much as we used to. Ash versus Evil Dead. Now, I keep wanting to call him Ash versus Evil Dead, but this is not Ash versus Evil Dead. This is going to be from the Army of Darkness. So he has his boomstick, but he doesn't have the chainsaw. This is, look, I can't honestly tell y'all how happy I am to pick this one up. I'm pretty happy that I managed to get my hands on this one. He's number 1027 out of the group. On the back of this box, they actually show him with the chainsaw in his hand, but on the character in the inside, he doesn't have the chainsaw. He has the Necronomicon. And look, I'm gonna laugh about the Necronomicon for a minute because there's a lot of people that are watching this right now that are probably gonna argue with me down in the description that it's a real book. The Necronomicon is not a real book. So at some point when I started watching the Ash vs. Evil Dead, it influenced me to start reading into the backstory, right? I wanted to know what this book was. I wanted to know more about the directors. I wanted to know more about the set. I wanted to know more about it because that's just who I am as a person, right? I'm one of those people who always like to know more. So I kind of got into it, and I found that the writers of this story are actually the ones who wrote. I said writ. They're actually the ones who wrote the Necronomicon, and they wrote it in a completely fictional basis just for the movie. But at some point, people started deciding that it was a real book and that it had some well, there we go again. It has some legitimacy to it that it does not. I mean, it has zero legitimacy to the book whatsoever. And the writers of the book try and express that in lots of ways, but for some reason, there's still a cult following group of people who believe that this book is real, even though the writers tell you that it's 100% fiction. I don't know. I do know that that was a really cool thing that I wanted to point out real quick. He does not have the chainsaw. He has the robotic hand. He has the Necronomicon with the whole face. The detail work that went into him is really cool. Now, this is what I'm going to say. A lot of times when it comes to movie characters and TV characters and things of that effect, I take them out of the thing, I sit them down, and I say, you know what? You'd never know who he was out of the box. I would know who he was out of the box. If I seen him out of the box and I walked up to him, it would take me all of 30 seconds to look at the book, to look at the gun and go, oh, that's Ash versus Evil Dead. Let's take a closer look at him. So this is a really cool pop, and like I was saying just a second ago, he's one of them that I would know if I walked up to, because in the Necronomicon right here, you can see the face on the book. I hope the camera's picking that up. They have these scuff marks on his face to make it look like he's been in battle. He has what he calls his boomstick from the movie, the series, the everything there in his hand, which is basically just a 12 gauge double barrel shotgun sawed off to where it is now. The cape, the detail work they went into that is really cool. I don't remember this, so this must be from the Army of Darkness, where he had this like crazy cape looking thing on. Look, these shows are not horror, and I know that it has some horror side to it, but if they're any kind of horror, it's a very comedy driven style of horror that I can get into. I mean, they have the way over the top blood and gore, and it's just ridiculous. Like some of the scenes, and all of them have got some kind of like comedy feature to them, whether it's from the demon that's got some comedy going on, or the characters have some comedy going on. So to me, it is horror, and it falls into that horror realm, but it's this severely like horror comedy, way over the top. Everything's over the top. When someone gets cut and they're bleeding, they probably bleed out 100 gallons of blood. I mean, it is absolutely insane and very entertaining. So if you haven't had a chance to go check out Ash vs. Evil Dead, make sure you get over there and check that out. It's really awesome. You'll have a lot of fun with it, and you'll laugh till you just can't take it. It's zero horror whatsoever, or at least to me. That's how I feel about that. But like I was saying, if you had not had a chance to go check out my Facebook, make sure you get over there and check that out. I am going to promote posting on there, and let's like help each other in the community get the stuff that we want. I mean, you could even go so far as to try and like ask for people if they want trades on there. I'm okay with that as well, as long as we don't like start getting shady with stuff. I'm okay with that. And like I said, it's something that I'm going to be monitoring. It's something that I'll be keeping an eye on it, and if it gets out of control, I'll just stop it. But make sure you go check that out. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, and become part of the Wayneko crew. There is no Wayneko crew without you, and I truly appreciate you watching. Until next time, have a good one.